This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive into the latest in TV news and reviews. With me, as always, is my co-host and New Year's baby, Stairmaster.
Wow. I'm a metaphor for impermanence of all things.
Yeah, it's sure is spooky when you put it like that.
Wow.
And with us, as always, is our other co-host and Christmas tree that is up for a long time, Kyoran. I might have used that last year. I don't remember.
No, you didn't.
I'm dying. I'm gonna help me.
Oh, this is
like
this is a real Christmas tree. It's not a fake Christmas tree. So it just dies.
Oh.
So I guess we gotta bury him in the backyard.
If the new year is a baby, does that mean that April is the teething troubles? Since that's typically when all the terrible stuff happens.
Yeah. Do you think the terrible stuff happens in April because of April Fools?
I don't
pranks
think that
have
April,
consequences.
You're saying that April Fools is responsible for Columbine?
I'm saying it didn't help.
And the Boston Marathon bombing?
Yeah, I'm saying it didn't help.
Perhaps.
There's a horrible prank behind every one of those shootings and
when you think
attacks.
about it,
Maybe Columbine was a prank that went wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never
You
know.
won't expect what happens next.
Yeah, that's one YouTube video that you're definitely not going to want to watch.
Yeah, school prank gone wrong. Cops called.
Anyway, welcome to our last episode of the year, or our first episode of the year, depending on when this drops.
Well, we know when it's going to drop.
But it's a 2019 retrospective, which means that later on in the show we're going to be recapping the shows we watched, and we're going to be picking the winner of the prestigious TV Tuners Show of the Year award.
Luckily, we won't be recapping our intros.
We have to think about the past?
That's right. In order to look to the future, we must think about the past.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my journal then.
Oh yeah, Kyoran has been diligently journaling all of our experiences this past year.
And his feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, here's the entry where Star made me cry.
Oh yeah. Because he said you had birthing hips.
Hold on, that was a compliment.
I mean,
I thought you were making fun of me.
I could see why you would think it's a compliment, but I don't think Kyoran took it that way.
Yeah, look how like the page is all splotchy from my tears.
Anyway, if you like what you've heard so far, and you want to go ahead and give us a subscribe, you can do so on any of the podcatchers of your choice. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and more. You can find us on any of those and give us a like or a subscribe, and we'll be greatly appreciated. Also,
this page is heartbreaking. Oh. I pitched a golf podcast. Remember that?
Why?
Oh yeah, when we were going to be the Golf Boys.
Yeah, and you guys both like viciously tore it down.
Well, Stairmaster thought it was a golf award podcast, and that made him somewhat interested. But yeah.
He actually got on a podium to give a speech about why it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, you were very passionate for it, so I needed to react with maximum force.
Well, you really showed me and put me in my place, I have to say.
Good.
Yeah. As always, of course, we're available on Twitter. You can find the show at TV Tuners. And use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll give a glance at what you're saying. We're
We will?
also, yeah, we'll take a look. We might even say something about it on this very show.
Oh my god.
We're also individually available on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Jesse Swanson.
I'm on Twitter at StereoR1.
I'm at Twitter at RealKeelRain.
Yeah, pretty soon that Keelrain name will be finally yours.
It better be. So I can finally shift to my golf content.
I'm going to purchase at Hitler.
Oh,
I'll be the strongest Twitter user.
Yeah, your brand will be on point finally.
What? Oh no!
Your content will finally be on point.
Oh, do you
Anyway.
think
I can't wait to see
Spider is available?
Oh, I hope so.
I can't wait to see Hitler posting about like anime visual novels. And...
Yeah, I can't wait to be seen. I can't wait to be scrolling through Twitter and find Hitler retweeting anime porn.
Just
Anyway.
like the real one.
Yeah, he sure did love those anime titties.
Is that why like Japan allied with Germany in World War II?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the anime boobs.
Wow. You saw the fisherman's wife. Like, whoa.
Yeah. And as always, if you guys want to give us any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kieran?
We have an email, huh? News to me. tvtunerspodcast@gmail.net.
That's right.
That's right.
And yeah, that's about all of the house cleaning stuff we got to do. So let's get on with it. What'd you guys watch this week?
I watched several things this week. Yeah, I had like a TV adventure over the holidays.
Wow, it's almost as if the lack of things to do made you resort to having to watch television programs.
Well, you see, I was at a family's house, and they actually watch TV there, unlike me. I don't even
They're not a Philistine, unlike you.
I don't even like TV, to be honest with you guys. I think it's a bad medium.
This is
Tune out on television.
This is quite a revelation for our retrospective.
Yeah, well, I'm only saying that because I wrote this down in my journal.
That you hate television?
Yeah, I guess I was just having like an angsty moment.
Yeah.
Maybe we watched something bad that week. I don't know.
Well, it's also a pretty big revelation because if I recall, at some point, you were running for mayor of TV Land, the place, not the network.
Yeah, I won.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm
Are you
mayor TV Land, the place, not the network. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even realize the election happened.
Yeah, it's almost like we dropped that whole story arc entirely at
But
random.
we couldn't drop it because we're not the ones in charge of the election.
Yeah, we couldn't have possibly dropped that, Keo, right? And see, it's a weird comment to make, really.
I'm pretty sure I made an offhand statement one episode that I won to you guys.
Well, I mean, anyone can make an offhand statement that they won something. Doesn't mean they did win it.
I mean, did you do this at the end of the episode, or we stopped paying attention to things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you only have yourself to blame.
Yeah. Wait, have you been doing weird things at the end of all of these episodes?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh,
I have the TV Tuners fact of the week.
Wow.
That's what? That's a thing?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
I give like important tidbits.
I mean,
well,
I could
can't
tell
wait
you.
to find out what this week's fact is.
Yeah, I mean, I would tell you to stop, but I mean, I guess I'm not going to actually listen to see if you did. So
Yeah, that's.
I guess keep doing it.
You can't expect anyone to listen to this podcast.
Nope. So I watched 3 programs.
Ooh, all right, lay
This
them out
week.
for us, bud.
First of all, I watched a couple episodes of The Witcher.
My God.
Oh no, you mean our potential next episode?
Oh no!
Uh-oh. Yikes. I guess I'm ahead of the curve. So should I avoid talking about it? Should I put a
Keo
radio
did his
silence on
winter
that one?
break reading assignment.
Yeah, Keo's getting a head jump on the assignments. Yeah, maybe we should put that one on the back burner just in case.
No, I want to hear your hot takes.
I don't really have any hot takes. We were kind of distracted, my mom, and was not paying attention to it. She put it on, then she quickly went back to her phone.
Classic Keo's mom. Did you see any boobs?
Yes, there were
Wow.
breast machines in the program.
And that is what they're referred to clinically.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what. In the Witcher universe.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I believe Yennefer is also always showing her breast machines.
Yeah, breast machines, milk monsters, those are the two terms they like to use.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the thing can come out of the milk scraps.
But you don't get to see Geralt's milk machine.
Dick dong?
Yes.
Yeah, he does not show off his dick dong.
Yeah, you don't get to show his cum dumpster.
What?
His dick dispenser.
Yeah, he does not show it off at all. Though he does make the sex, he doesn't show.
And you get to hear it flapping around.
Yeah.
Like you just hear it going.
Yeah, and he's like, get a load of my magic cock.
He says it's magic.
Yeah.
That's probably something he said in the books.
He's always talking about how he does magic and stuff. He's really proud of it.
So I knew that the games of The Witcher were horny, but the books are also deeply horny.
I don't know. They're all in Polish.
So probably.
Yes.
The Polish people are a notoriously horny bunch.
So next up, I watched. I think it's a Netflix original. Maybe it's titled very confusingly "You."
Oh, I have heard of this.
Yeah, You.
It's like a Netflix horror thing.
It's not even horror. It's like the POV is of this crazy stalker man who kills people.
Oh,
is
this
he
sounds
the
like
titular You?
Yeah, this sounds.
Yeah, that's
weird.
me.
Oh, you're the crazy stalker man.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just a movie. It's just a show about you.
Yeah, it's about you, Swanson. You're the crazy stalker.
Wait, what?
Man. Wait, huh?
Yeah, it's about you.
Oh.
Who's also me. You know, we're all one person.
Wait, if you're here and Swanson's here.
And you're here.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, how was it?
It was interesting. It was the best I could say about it, really.
Oh boy, were you watching it from the beginning? Because I know the new season just showed up.
I was watching it from the beginning. It was captivating, I guess, but I don't know if I want to call it good. I have very mixed feelings about it.
All right. I mean, I feel like that has been the consensus I heard on it, which is why I had not watched it.
Do you get to see boobs?
I think.
Oh,
Further
can't
research.
remember.
I'm noticing a pattern with Sarah's questioning about these programs.
Yeah, Sarah seems to be interested in only one feature. Or maybe
only
two. Two features.
Okay, and the last program that I experienced. Do you like the way I say program?
Yes.
Yeah, very festive.
Edit this out. Edit this out.
I watched random parts of season 2 of Ozark.
Oh, wait.
Oh no.
How did this happen?
Well, my mom has been following the show. She's
Oh, Keo, sweetie, look at Jason Bateman. Isn't he so charming?
Yeah, Keo's mom is of course Marge Simpson.
Jason Bateman. I'm gonna assume that you're talking about the Arrested Development guy.
Yes,
Is that who
Mr. Ozark himself.
Yeah, Mr. Ozarks.
Yeah, and here's what I have to say about that show. Seems like there's crime going on, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, there's trees.
I believe
two
there's
of your
also
favorite things.
I believe there are also like jet skis.
Were there any
boats?
jet skis?
There's boats.
Mm-hmm.
But trees and crime are sort of two of your favorite things, Keo Ryan. So it sounds like a slam dunk.
Yeah, it seemed interesting. I didn't really know any of the characters, but I was like, oh yeah, this is there's got crime going on. That's inherently good, right?
I mean, I guess, yeah. All I remember about Ozarks is that it was like if Breaking Bad was not as compelling.
You know, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
For some reason, I watched the complete first season of Ozarks. I think I can't remember.
It felt like I think I watched 2 or 3 episodes, and it felt like if Breaking Bad was more focused on Walt's like family life.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
But
yeah, I don't know. I wasn't bored, at least, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Jason Bateman is doing his good work there.
It took me like 2 episodes to notice who he was.
You were like, that's the guy from Arrested Development.
Yeah, I had to Google it. I was like, huh. Is that man?
The mysterious figure known as Bateman.
Lurking in the trees, watching. Checking out what they got going on out there.
How much lurking in trees does he do in Ozarks?
Unfortunately, Swanson, I'm gonna have to report that he did not go into the trees at all in the segment that I watched.
Wow, that seems almost utterly pointless. All right, Stare, what did you watch this week?
I rewatched Chernobyl.
Oh,
with my dad.
Yeah, how was that?
And he was like, "Boy, I'm glad I'm not Italian American, or I'd hate this."
I feel like this is gonna color your our retrospective later.
No, we both had a good time.
You were like, "Oh yeah!"
Yeah.
When the people's skin got melted off.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, look at that reactor explode! Sick!"
It was pretty cool.
He pumped his fist in the air.
Yeah, just
when
like
that old Russian man got up.
Yeah, I stand the king. Also, I've been watching The Expanse. It's good, I guess.
The new season, I take it?
Yeah, it's a new season.
You were so happy about it before, and now you're not?
Yeah, you seem very lukewarm on it.
I don't have anything interesting to say about it.
But you liked it?
Yes.
All right. I mean,
Amos punches some people, I guess. The big, beefy meathead guy.
Sure. I'll take your word on who that is.
We watched the pilot together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember.
Oh, that's not good for our retrospective.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, this week I finished up with The Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. Since last week we spent time talking about bad Star Wars, I figured why not talk about good Star Wars, like the finale for The Mandalorian.
I also did that.
Yeah, it was like if Rise of the Skywalker was good.
I would say it's not like Rise of the Skywalker at all, because it's good.
Well, exactly. I feel like they're both attempting to do similar things in terms of make you feel nostalgic for how Star Wars was, but one is successful in it because it isn't relying on what Star Wars was.
I feel like they kind of, got a little bit of senioritis with the writing for that finale. It was a bit sloppy in places, but, the acting and the...
Also, I have a bone to pick with Stairmaster, who fucking ruined the ending for me.
It was trendy on Twitter.
So what? I didn't look at it.
No excuse. Swanson's very diligent about his spoiler protection.
It was like a day. It wasn't even. It hadn't even been a day.
Yeah, it was literally the morning of.
Whenever Swanson gets on Twitter, he has on these goggles that block out spoilers.
Anyway, spoilers for The Mandalorian ahead. Skip a minute probably. They did in fact give Gus Fring a lightsaber, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Not just any lightsaber either. Apparently, this is like some lightsaber that was mentioned in the Clone Wars.
This is the dark saber, the black saber.
Yeah, the dark saber.
The dark saber, which was created by the first Mandalorian Jedi over 1,000 years ago, and then during the Mandalorian Wars, the Mandalorian sacked the Jedi Temple and took it back as a heirloom, which they passed it down from the strongest Mandalorian from generation to generation. And
now somehow Gus Fring got his hands on it.
Yes.
He's out for revenge.
It's a dark saber, but it's got light coming out of it. Is that what the deal is?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a black lightsaber that looks more like a sword. And also Darth Maul had it at one point.
Okay.
Anyway, and maybe we'll see that when Darth Maul inevitably fights Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Obi-Wan show.
Well, he does that in Rebels. And spoiler, he dies.
Oh, uh-oh.
Unless they're going to adopt that for live action. I don't think they will, since it's like Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan in the show.
Well, in the show, yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's too old. Anyway, Mandalorian, good stuff. Can't wait for season 2 next year.
But what about that baby?
Baby Yoda's fine.
We can't get enough of him.
He's not Yoda.
All right. Well, let's move on from what we watched to the news. I regret to inform you that Kevin Spacey has once again done it. And by done it, I mean posted a weird video during Christmas time.
But also some other stuff.
Well, yeah, but he already had done that. As far as we know, he doesn't continue. Well, he might have continued to do some other stuff. Anyway, as you might recall, last year on this very same retrospective for 2018, we talked about Kevin Spacey's "Let Me Be Frank" video, a weird video in which he was preparing a Thanksgiving turkey, or I guess a Christmas ham, maybe. I don't remember, but he was as his character from House of Cards, Frank Underwood, which came in the wake of him being ousted from the show because he's a horrible person and a rapist. This year, Kevin Spacey has decided to do a similar video, equally unnerving, titled KTWK, which, as we find out at the end of the video, stands for "Kill Them with Kindness." A vague threat that also happens to have come at the same time as one of his accusers mysteriously died.
The third accuser died. And it's like 6 months ago, there was the conference he did where he held up a mug with the British royal family symbol on it, and that was right after another accuser had died.
Also, the last time the video was released, someone also died. Which, I mean, look, I'm no conspiracy theorist here, but it is a little weird.
Especially with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
There might be a pattern involved here.
Anyway, as for the video itself, it's just sort of a weirdly unnerving video where Kevin Spacey plays Frank Underwood and says that he's looking to put in more kindness, vote in more kindness in 2020.
Yes.
And yeah,
this has worse energy than the 40 pizzas in 30 days thing.
Oh yeah, this is yes, this he has worse he has worse energy than Papa John. Can you imagine Can you imagine being a person with worse energy than noted pizza racist Papa John?
Hey, he called the Day of Reckoning.
Yeah, maybe Spacey knows what's going on.
Maybe Spacey's a racist too.
But he didn't call the Day of Reckoning really, because the people he named in that video, nothing happened with them.
Oh, but it was pizza
yet.
guys. That's what matters.
Yeah. Anyway, he also vaguely responds that he also vaguely mentions forgiveness, because sure. And then the video ends with a very weird what would you describe the music at the end of this, Stairmaster?
Isn't it that one from the meme of the gopher turning around dramatically?
Is it? He's using dramatic.
No, that's different.
No, that's it. Yeah, I'm thinking of dun dun dun.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like generic horror score.
Yeah,
which
and then
has been used in movies. Yeah, that's one. It's like dun 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 dun.
Which
all right, you try, Keo.
You've already made me completely forget it by butchering it.
Oh,
it's like.
Yeah, so good on Kevin Spacey for doing his weird thing on Christmas and potentially murdering people. Well, let's go on from one noted rapist to another one, a convicted one. Recently, Eddie Murphy made a grand return to SNL after almost 30 years away, in a pretty well-received deal here.
wait, did he go to jail?
Huh? Eddie Murphy? SNL is not
for
jail.
rape. Oh,
he just hasn't been on SNL. He hasn't been on SNL in 30 years.
I thought he was a convicted rapist in this.
No.
Let's once and finish there. Come on.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm talking. Anyway, Eddie Murphy has always had a contentious relationship with...
Stare. Let's once and finish. Stare. You need let's once and talk.
No.
Yeah,
Stare. It's almost as if Eddie Murphy has had Eddie Murphy's always had a contentious relationship with one William Cosby.
Jay.
Better known as Bill Cosby, comedian and now convicted rapist. And Eddie Murphy made a couple jokes at Cosby's expense. If you count just mentioning that he's a convicted sex offender as a joke. Naturally, this didn't sit well with Cosby's representatives.
Why is Cosby in jail and Kevin Spacey's hanging out recording videos?
Well,
What happened?
Yeah.
if you look at pictures of them, you can spot one clear difference.
Yeah, one.
Cosby's old?
Yeah, one's older
Yeah.
than the other one.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey still has acting years left in him.
Yeah, Cosby's
dang.
outlived his purpose. He basically Bill Murray was not here. Eddie Murphy's joke was basically about how he's now become America's dad because he's older now and not a convicted sex offender.
And Bill Cosby put out a comment saying that was really funny.
Yeah, he was real into it, real big fan. No. Instead, a spokesperson for Bill Cosby fired back at Eddie Murphy, and I have the full statement here. And
All right, read it.
guess you get ready for this because it goes some places.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, yeah.
Hold on, wait. I'm not ready. Let me take a sip of my hot chocolate here.
Ooh, Keel,
Okay,
you might not
I'm
want to do that. You're gonna spit it out.
Oh, okay. Let me. Okay.
Try swallowing it.
All right. I swallowed it. Okay.
Mr. Cosby became the first black is capitalized, by the way. Mr. Cosby became the first black to win an Emmy for his role in I Spy. And Mr. Cosby broke color barriers in the entertainment industry so that blacks like Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, and et al. Could have an opportunity to showcase their talents for many generations to come. It is sad that Mr. Murphy would take this glorious moment of returning to SNL to make disparaging remarks against Mr. Cosby. One who would think that Mr. Murphy is given his freedom to leave the plantation so that he could make his own decisions.
Swanson, thank you for warning me about the hot chocolate.
But he decided to sell himself back to being a Hollywood slave.
Oh.
Who is this spokesperson?
I don't think
Huxtable.
they've been named. It's just a spokesperson for Bill Cosby, which imagine being a spokesperson for Bill Cosby in 2019.
So if this were like a video podcast sort of thing, we would have to have like a silhouette with a question mark over it for that quote.
Yeah, probably. I'm not done yet. There's still more. Stephen Fetchit plus cooning equals the destruction of black men in Hollywood.
Wait, what was that word you just said?
Stephen Fetchit
Plus
cooning equals the destruction of black men in Hollywood. Remember,
Can you say that?
I mean,
Cooning?
Yeah.
Well, no, I wrote that down in my journal that Swanson's officially racist for
reciting
reading a
what someone
quote.
says.
But I think Sarah means like, can the person who wrote that or initially said that say that
Either
or what?
or.
Yeah, Swanson can quote whatever he wants. If he's reading a passage, he can say the N-word if he really needs to.
Oh,
Hey guys, let's read Huck Finn.
good thinking. Remember, Mr. Murphy, that Bill Cosby became legendary because he used comedy to humanize all races, religions, and genders. But your attacking Mr. Cosby helps you embark on just being...
What is this person talking about?
But your attacking Mr. Cosby helps you embark on just becoming clickbait. Hopefully, you will be amenable to having a meeting of the minds conversation in order to discuss how we can use our collective platforms to enhance black people rather than bringing all of us down together.
What it? This is like actual madness. I'm not even exaggerating.
It's weird because the entire statement is just...
Even if Cosby hadn't been a rapist, he'd still be a has-been at this point.
Yeah. The entire point of the statement is immediately refuted by just saying, isn't he a convicted rapist? And then everything else you said doesn't matter. But also equating that Cosby somehow freed the slaves.
Just like Anakin Skywalker.
Listen, without Bill Cosby, no black man would ever have succeeded in media. Period.
Yeah, there would never be a successful black man if it wasn't for Bill Cosby and his very
What about
charming...
Richard Pryor?
Well, in the infamous words of Richard Pryor, tell Bill Cosby I said shut the fuck up and drink a Coke and smile.
Yeah, whoever wrote that's canceled.
Cancelled. Yeah, I think that's official. That guy, the person from the camp is canceled. Anyway, Eddie Murphy himself has yet to respond to Cosby's comments, probably because why should he?
there's not really much of a response you can make to that other than what?
Yeah, like, why don't you just... No. Just
Why?
Like,
Why would you do this?
Yeah, well, why is there a spokesman for Bill Cosby? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, shouldn't I be spending that money on not getting stabbed in prison?
well, yeah. I mean, he's rich. He's got enough money to spend on both. Anyway, let's move on from the grim world of TV news and into something near and dear to everyone's heart. It's Trailer Blazers. Hit the theme, Keo. Yes, it's time once again for Trailer Blazers. And this week we have something a little special for you guys.
Swanson was really excited.
I was excited to talk about this. So, way back when the first abomination of a Sonic the Hedgehog trailer dropped, we talked about it here because we wanted to make fun of it. And now I have a new Sonic thing to share with you all. The new Sonic, of course, looks okay, pretty good. So instead I had to give you a trailer for the Japanese release of Sonic the Hedgehog that features another new version of Sonic the Hedgehog. Baby Sonic's here.
Baby Yoda Sonic is here.
Baby Sonic Yoda is here.
What? He baby.
If you make Sonic a baby, he's gonna be cute. That's just how it's gonna go.
And it turns out, yeah. I mean, I wonder if there's like a first draft of Baby Sonic that looks like the original version.
Of course there is.
Like some sort of like baby abomination.
Yeah, we'll never see it now.
With
because
real baby teeth.
With real baby human teeth.
Yeah.
Now I'm just imagining a Sonic with teeth for hedgehog pricks.
Oh, so something worse than any of us could have imagined. What a fresh new horror you brought on the world.
Hey, TV tuners, I'd like to see that fan art if you can.
I'm Sonic the Abomination.
I'm here to talk about oral hygiene.
Look at my human teeth as quills.
Every time he runs, it just makes a teeth chattering noise.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's the Sonic Speed style.
Oh, God, imagine what it looks like when he rolls it.
No, thank you. Anyway, this Sonic is cute, and it's sort of just like it's a little flashback that's probably only in the movie for 10 seconds, but it eats up about 30 seconds of this trailer.
It's very important, Swanson.
It's so important that the Japanese announcer has to cut into the trailer to say that Baby Sonic merchandise will be available. And he's very excited to tell you about it.
This announcer knew how to build up hype for this movie. He's like going ham.
Yeah, he's going more ham than Christmas time.
He sounds like the narrator in Kaiji in terms of emotion.
Yeah, very, very energetic and excited, and can't wait to see the doomed fate of this movie. Anyway, the rest of the trailer is pretty standard stuff. It's pretty much what we've seen before, just with the better looking Sonic. Not Eddie Murphy. Jim Carrey is there.
Oh, man.
And none of them really talk. They all sort of do grunts and stuff. And like, there's
Sonic
only
does speak.
Yeah, Sonic speaks at the very end, and then the rest is just sort of them being like, "Huh? Ooh, Presumably because they haven't hired the Japanese voice actors yet.
Yeah. I assume they're just going to use the video game voice actors for the movie.
You think the video game voice actor for Robotnik is going to do Jim Carrey's Robotnik?
I hope so.
You know, that'd be worth it to watch that. So I'm really curious. I want to know, guys. Do you think that we're going to get the Baby Sonic Mania?
No.
Like Sonic, it's going to sweep the nation?
No, there's no surprise factor, and this movie's already kind of in the mud.
It's true. It also has already sort of become a meme. So really, there's no reason for Baby Sonic to be a meme.
Yeah.
People are already done with it, Swanson.
Oh, they hadn't delayed the movie. They would have beat Baby Yoda, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they could have beat Baby Yoda by doing Baby Sonic. This movie's
really
have.
Actually, is he really even a baby if he can do runs and loop-de-loops?
He seems to have
Yeah, I think he's
he seems to be faster than classic Sonic.
He seems like a child more than a baby in terms of agency.
So you think this is even more false advertising than Baby Yoda, who is not really Yoda?
Yes.
Yeah, the only real Baby Sonic was that Baby Sonic from Sonic Underground.
Oh yes, who was thoroughly unattractive. Anyway, yeah, that's it for Trailer Blazers. Let's go ahead.
That's it for Trailer Blazers.
Look, guys, that's it for Trailer Blazers.
Really?
That's
it for Trailer Blazers?
Jingle balls to the walls, fellas.
That's it for Trailer Blazers forever. That's the final one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. Oh.
And untrimmed pubes are a thing of the past.
Yeah, both of those things are gone. Here, look, okay, I'm making a list. Here's the list of things that are gone in 2019. Trailer Blazers, untrimmed pubes. Both are
and
gone.
bad smelling balls.
Yeah, three things that are gone after 2019.
Are we trying to sell a product or what here? What's going on?
No, these are just proven facts that these three things are gone and definitely not coming back.
Okay. You're not going to try to sell me a razor?
No. And we're definitely never going to see another segment of Trailer Blazers.
Okay.
All right, well, let's move on to our main event. We've watched a lot of television this year, and now it's time to recap it all. So, this is our first full year of watching programs here on TV Tuners. Programs, sorry. And, you know, it's been a pretty wild ride, I'd say. Well, let's rewind the clock all the way back to January and talk about the last episode of TV Tuners.
I don't remember.
Uh-oh. We watched Project Blue Book.
Oh, yeah!
What?
Yeah, if you don't remember, Kyo-Rain, Project Blue Book was a television program on the History Channel about...
Oh my god.
UFOs, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was, if I recall, garbage.
Did I finish? I don't think I finished watching that.
Oh, is that one of the ones you... Is that one of the ones you stopped watching?
I think it was.
Or did Keo even watch it? I can't remember.
I think I was there for that. It was either that I didn't watch. I know I didn't watch the one about the moon.
Oh,
all the way through.
Yeah. If it was something with UFO,
yes.
People in the air, Kyoran can't handle.
He just sees the clouds and gets sleepy.
Yeah, he says it looks
I'm already
like
in a hammock.
Yeah, so, I mean, that one, obviously, I feel like is not anywhere near a contender, but I feel like it needs to be talked about.
It had the guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, I guess it did. Good on him.
Oh, yeah, it had Littlefinger, and there was a mystery, and it was supposed to be, like, historical, but not. It was very confusing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I seem to recall a moment where a guy shows up and, like, murders a man using...
Oh, my God, wasn't there a plane crash, and then they're mysteriously there, and they're like, our plan is happening.
Yes.
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 It's just that the Dead Sea Scrolls predicted.
As for our first official episode, we watched HBO's True Detective. The third season found actor Mahershala Ali playing a detective who was trying to recall the memories of a previous investigation, following 3 different timelines that he was in.
Did any of us revisit that?
I watched all of it.
Wow!
It was okay.
Who did it?
Is it a contender, Swanson?
I would say it's maybe a sleeper contender. I don't think it's gonna land for me. I probably wouldn't put it in my top 10.
We're picking show of the year, right? That's what we're doing here?
Yeah. Oh, to be clear, this is going to be a brand new show of the year because previous 2018 show of the year winner, Better Call Saul, not on the air this year. So we're getting a brand new, no repeats.
Minty fresh.
Unbelievable.
Just like your balls with the crop preserver.
Stare, you don't.
Okay, you are trying to sell me something.
No, I'm just talking about this revolutionary product from the folks at Manscaped.
Stare. All right, listen. Look. Listen here. Here's $10,000.
Oh.
Right here.
Uh-huh.
Take it and never talk about this product ever again.
Okay.
Wow, that's way more than we got paid by Manscaped.
Do you want to talk about that on the air?
No. All right, so next we watched The Passage.
What?
If
Was
you
that
don't
the one
remember
with the
this,
vampires?
yes, it's the vampire show with the blood faucets.
Oh my god!
I'm the sad dad protagonist.
Yes. Yeah, this show was a pile. Look, I mean, let's face facts here. Most of you, if you've been listening to TV Tuners at this point, you realize that we sort of seek out the bad shows. But this one was a step above the rest, you could say. Should we also pick worst television show of the year? We didn't do that last year, but I feel like we should.
I think it might have to be The Passage.
Is the criteria that it has to be interesting bad, or can it be like most unwatchably boring bad?
You think?
Okay.
Nobody cares about most boring.
Well, we also watched some really boring ass shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, The Passage might be up there. That's a pretty bad one, but I feel like I have some better ones for my money later.
Some betterly bad ones.
Yeah, some worse choices. Right off the bat, we have another good contender here: Deadly Class. If you don't remember this is the Assassin School sci-fi show.
Wait, I thought you liked that one.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I think you were favorable.
I think it was okay. Maybe
I think Swanson tuned in on this one. I think Swanson said it was a tune in. I think Swanson said, "Hey guys, tune in on this one because this is a good one."
I don't know. I don't think I did, but I think it was mostly bad from what I can remember.
Okay.
I remember being confused. There was there was a bully and the guy killed the bully or something.
Did that happen?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure it could have. Who's to say?
I don't remember, but it was very confusing. They did not try to cover the crime up at all. It was really, really unbelievable.
Then we get to a string of pretty good stuff. First up, this is an episode that Stairmaster was not on. Me and Keel watched Russian Doll.
Oh yeah, I liked that show.
That's a contender.
I did not follow up on it. Swanson did.
Yeah, I think Keel would also agree if he followed up on it that it was a contender. But alas, I am alone on this ocean. I'm adrift.
Do you get to see boobs?
No.
Oh.
This was not a boob show.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a good show. A little twisty sort of Russian doll situation, as it were. A Russian doll time paradox sort of thing. Anyway, it was a fun show. And next...
Okay, so questions, Watson. Yeah. Did the show get funnier or more dramatic? Both.
Yeah, I mean, no, it got a little more dramatic, I'd say. But it was still plenty funny.
Interesting. Maybe I should watch it. Should I watch it?
I would say yes.
Why are you against it, Stair? What's your...
Stair hates Natasha Lyonne.
I don't like
Russians.
I don't like Russians because they stole 2016 from Hillary.
Yes. No, Stair's a big Hillary fan. You can just find that out by following his Twitter.
Stair hates Groundhog Day-esque death loops.
Yes. Yeah. Next was one I think we all really enjoyed, and I think we all watched all of it. Weird City.
Oh yes, that was a good boy.
Did we all watch that?
I watched it to completion.
I also finished it.
I finished it with 2 ends.
Yeah, I think this is the first one we all finished so far, which I think means that it is currently the front runner for show of the year. I mean, it was good. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was also short though.
True.
So easy to finish.
Yeah.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Yes, true. Best episode, of course, was the one with Michael Cera. And then next we got Miracle Workers. This was sort of forgettable, but a pretty fun little thing. It was Steve Buscemi was God, Daniel Radcliffe was there.
He wasn't God.
Yeah, I didn't mind that show.
Yeah,
I might have.
offensive.
I might have kept watching it if I wasn't like slightly bored of it.
Yeah, I think I watched a couple more episodes and then fell off.
Yeah, no, I abandoned that.
Yeah.
I left it in the River Nile to float away.
Anyway, Doom Patrol. That's the next one we watched.
Oh god, what a mess!
That was kind of a sloppy.
There was it's weird. There was some parts that were fun, and then there were parts that were just garbage.
It was all over the place.
Yeah, that movie.
It could have been good if they had rewritten it a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, it's a show where Brendan Fraser is voicing a robot dude who's a robot who's a race car, the race car driver whose consciousness is in a robot.
Oh,
That's
they just start adding in all these characters who are just weird and confusing and not compelling at all.
It's a shame you can't turn into a race car.
You think it'd be a better show? Better
yes.
show. He just turns into Herbie the Love Bug.
Yeah, I was thinking more like a Transformer.
Yeah. This is this next one is a weirder one. This one was sort of like an internationally produced show. It was called Gone. If you remember this at all. Oh
yes, that was like the Dylan McDermott type program we watched.
Yeah, it was a show about kidnappers, like a group of people who track down kidnappers or something.
About a lady named Kick.
Yes.
That was strictly mediocre.
Yeah, that was a mediocre show. I can't even give it. I don't think it usurps The Passage as the worst show on our list so far, but it was definitely not a good show. It was a thoroughly mediocre experience. As is our next one, Afterlife.
With Ricky Gervais.
Yes, Afterlife was a show with Ricky Gervais.
He's just kind of sad.
Yeah, he's just kind of a sad boy the entire time and is a huge dick to everybody.
Yeah,
but it's funny.
That. No,
it's a fun time.
Fuck off.
I mean, there were a few moments of it that were genuinely funny, but the rest of it was painful and a slog.
Yeah, it was. It's not exactly great. Next up was a very bad one. Stairmaster was not here to witness this. We had instead our special guest Gio on. It was Turn Up Charlie.
Oh God! Why did Idris Elba go on this show?
That is sort of baffling that Idris Elba was on this program. He might have been a producer. I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me. But yeah, this was just not good. I can't.
I didn't even understand what the point of it was.
It was. This is a show. Get ready for this, Gil Ryan. This show was created by Idris Elba.
Oh my god!
So maybe he should just stick to acting.
Remember that time he had a rap album?
I mean, yeah, Idris Elba is actually a DJ, so maybe that's why he made a show where it's about a guy who's a struggling DJ and eternal bachelor. But anyway, yeah, the show was not very funny and not very good. The real question here, though, is this better or worse than The Passage?
It's definitely better than The Passage.
Okay. I think I would agree, but I would say the next show on this list is worse.
Oh, I remember this one.
You remember this? It's The Village.
Oh.
An NBC drama about people living in, I think it was Greenwich Village. This is the one with the...
What an eclectic cast of characters.
I didn't remember
all over
this
the
one.
world.
Do you remember this one?
Yeah, this one is pretty crazy.
Yeah, this was the one that followed sort of an apartment building. Oh, no, sorry, it wasn't Greenwich Village. It was an apartment building in Brooklyn where all of these people have sort of bonded together. I seem to remember...
But none of them were hosting podcasts. Very unrealistic.
Yeah, there should have been at least one podcast host in Brooklyn.
It's definitely one of those shows that didn't trust the audience to have an attention span to follow one character for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they've crammed in 50 of them.
I seem to recall that there was an immigrant who was having problems with ICE. There was a lady whose daughter was pregnant, but she didn't know about it yet.
And there's a guy with PTSD.
Yeah, there was a guy with... He also had... didn't he have a prosthetic leg?
Yeah,
wasn't there somebody with cancer too or something?
Yes, the owner. the super of the building had cancer, and he didn't tell his wife about it or something.
And also, he was played by Joe Pesci.
Other way around. The wife didn't have the wife had cancer and didn't tell her husband about it.
Also, there was like a wise black man, I'm pretty sure, at some point.
That's the guy whose wife had cancer.
Ah.
He's like the super of the building, but also like just the wise black man who shows up as like, I'm here to solve your problems.
Oh, he was played by Billy D. Williams.
I wish.
Yeah, throw this show right in the trash, just directly into the can.
This, I think, was the worst one that we've covered so far on this list.
Yeah,
it's like it's just a really bad attempt at trying to get people to like get to make you feel things.
Yeah.
It was very blatantly emotionally manipulative to the point where it's distracting.
They should have called the show Cheap Shot.
Because I think I might have said this about the show itself, or maybe another show we watched, but when you notice that the program you're watching is trying to manipulate you, that's when you've got a problem.
Yeah.
Because, good media does manipulate your emotions, but when you're just, like, in your face about it, it's just, like, really distracting.
All right. So next on our list is a remake. This is CBS's remake of The Twilight Zone. The, I think, third remake of The Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
This one was...
You mean a case study of why you don't always make things 1 hour format?
100%, yes. Also a show that I think we tuned in on at the time, and I think has only gotten worse as we all think about it.
I have definitely soured on that pilot episode.
Yeah. I think as much as I like Kumail Nanjiani, that pilot episode is not good. And the show is worse. I think in a future episode, on the show post the Twilight Zone, I talked about the episode that made me hate the show and never want to watch another episode of the Twilight Zone ever again. Which was there was an episode where a child becomes president.
Oh yeah, we had so many things to say about that.
And it's a big like, oh, you get this? It's like a metaphor for Trump. Oh, because there's like a child in the White House. Isn't that something?
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, that was the moment where I said, "Oh fuck this."
That seems more like a Black Mirror thing. Child president.
An hour to put that in your head too. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think more than anything else I've ever watched, including the Netflix Marvel shows, this is a stern rebuke of having to cram an hour, make everything an hour long. Just let things be however long they have to be. That's sort of the joy of streaming media. You don't have to make anything an hour long.
Yeah, you could feel it in that pilot episode that they were stretching it.
Yeah, because he does the same stand-up routine like 5 times.
We should be grateful that 24 is dead and canceled and didn't come back for streaming.
Yeah?
Imagine them having to make 60-minute episodes.
Oh, God.
No thanks. Next we had...
Ooh, sorry. 24 episodes, 60 minutes each. God, no.
Oh,
no thank
I guess
you.
I have to ask, is The Twilight Zone worse than The Village?
No.
No. I mean...
Twilight Zone is just a bummer.
Yeah, it's just sort of a bummer.
Well, The Village is kind of hostile.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's the thing about The Village versus The Passage. The Village was kind of just boring, but The Passage was interesting bad. So how do we scale these?
I think I want to go with The Village simply because The Village was a little boring, I would say, but also it's so pointedly manipulative. And the writing
it did It did kind of beggar belief where they added yet another drama thing.
Right. And also, if I recall, the dialogue in the show was laughable.
Yes, Twilight Zone is far more boring by comparison.
Yeah.
Than those two.
I mean, at least in the Twilight Zone, you have Jordan Peele there being like, doing his thing.
Check out this weird thing that happened out there.
Yeah. Next, we had one that I think we were all favorable on, and one that I watched all of. What We Do in the Shadows, the FX adaptation of the popular movie by Taika Waititi.
Oh yeah, that one made me smile and laugh.
That
it was about
a funny one, but I didn't revisit it. I did.
It was about vampire men.
Yeah.
And women.
It was a good one.
I didn't revisit it, but I did procure the movie, and I'll get around to watching it one day.
I think the movie is probably funnier, but the movie's also shorter. I mean, so it's hard to judge.
The best of both worlds.
But the sitcom or the show itself is sort of just a very fun half-hour sitcom to watch where vampires are around doing weird vampire shit. It's good. It's a good show. I don't think it's anywhere near like top tier or anything, but it's fun. All right, get ready for this one, boys. Next up, Game of Thrones.
Oh boy!
I told you all, and you didn't listen.
Stairmaster the Prophet proclaimed that Game of Thrones had gone downhill, and Keoran and I were unwilling to listen. We both tuned in on this one, if I recall, and boy, were we wrong. Now, Keo, as of this recording, you still haven't bothered to watch the season at all, right?
No, I've been thoroughly dissuaded.
As you should be. It was.
There's some chance that I could watch it and think that it's really good and upset both of you.
Yeah, similar to Iron Fist. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's probably doubtful. I would be interested to see that, but I wouldn't want you to feel like you need to subject yourself to it. It's
and we could have a TV Tuners debate time where I talk about how every character arc was actually correctly done.
Yeah, and how Bran becoming the king of the Iron Throne was like perfectly orchestrated, like very well set up.
Yeah, like they definitely alluded to that happening. They didn't have his whole arc seem to be off to the side and some mystical political system.
And all the other characters had realistic reactions considering their position and socioeconomic status.
Yeah. Game of Thrones, I think, is the definition of shitting the bed. More so than like a show like Dexter, which was a show that had already been going downhill before its notoriously awful final season. This is a show that, I mean, you could argue it was going downhill, and Stairmaster's probably right in that regard. I'm not going to rewatch the show. What am I, a masochist? But, I mean, yeah, it's a show where everyone was hoping that they could stick the landing, and it just did not. It doesn't help that it was also happened to be the most popular television show that was currently on the air.
Of all time.
I mean, no, but it was the most popular show of the year by far, and the most devastatingly bad. But not the worst, right? I don't think it's the worst show of the year.
No, but it needs an honorary mention.
Yeah, I think
the episode we watched on the show though wasn't that bad.
No, but you could see there were some problems.
It was a
setup episode though, so nothing happened.
All it was setting up things, but it becomes more egregious when you watch the whole season and realize that they didn't bother setting up half the stuff anyway.
After that first episode, I remember like it still didn't seem like much of an episode, but a series of disconnected vignettes.
I mean, that's kind of how setup episodes are in Game of Thrones.
It was better about it in the earlier seasons.
You mean when they had a book to go off of?
Yes.
Next up, we did a strange sort of experiment where we watched the second season of The Tick, a show that Kira and I had never watched all of the first season of. It was okay.
Yeah, it seemed pretty good, but I was confused.
Now, Stairmaster,
we enjoyed the Blue Man.
Yeah, now Stairmaster, you watched all of that first season, right?
Nope.
Oh, so it was all three of us. I was wrong on that regard.
Sorry.
Did you watch any more of the second season?
I'll get around to it one day.
So we're all pretty much the reason it got canceled. Sorry in advance to Griffin Newman, who I'm sure is listening. I'm sure he listens to all podcasts. All right, next up is another one that I think might be a contender for worst of the year. Chambers.
I don't remember much about Chambers.
It's too boring to be the worst of the year.
Maybe you're right. It just feels like a bad horror movie.
There was some dumb melodrama, but
I seem to recall that she lives with her uncle who looks like Steven Seagal.
More like I remember him looking like a schlubby Steve Austin.
No, he had a ponytail like Steven Seagal.
Was the story that she got a dead girl's heart? And
Yeah, because
she's
her
haunted?
boyfriend dicked her too good.
Yeah, right. She received a heart transplant and is haunted by visions, and also she gets
The family wants to talk to her.
Yeah, the grieving family of the lady who died.
And she goes to their house, and the house is haunted?
Yeah.
And the
I
dad
never
is,
remember.
and the dad's like, "Come over to our house."
Why don't you come over to the house and see what happens?
How do you
come to the house?
Why don't you come and see the harvest?
The dad, I think the dad acted pretty normal, didn't he? He was like, "Oh, I'm a rich man," I think.
I think the dad was the normal one, and the mom was the crazy one. Ooh,
crazy women out there.
Yeah,
think about it.
Stealing hearts.
Homie, you know I hate it when you put our daughter's heart in other children.
Something weird going on here.
Next up, we have what I think, for two of us anyway, is the obvious frontrunner for Show of the Year. Chernobyl.
That's our boy. Jared Harris.
Oh boy.
Look, I know Kyoran was unsettled by it, and I'm assuming he has not watched any more of Chernobyl. But the potentially unsettling aspects aside, Chernobyl's message and relevance in the modern day is pretty unparalleled. And also, it's just a damn good thing to watch.
There's no, unnecessary meat.
Yeah. It's all there. It's all necessary.
Oh, perfect.
Falling off the radioactive bones.
Yeah, and amazing performances and good special effects.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to top Chernobyl, I think. Although I'm interested what Kyo's top one will be, because I doubt it's this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not this one. I just thought it was kind of a drag and very unpleasant.
It's going to be interesting to see how that debate goes, considering Kyo is holding a hand grenade right now.
Yeah.
It is, that is very threatening and very ominous.
Say one more nice thing about this critically acclaimed television program. I'm going to explode this grenade.
Ooh. I don't like that.
Also, there are a lot of dank memes, so that's how you know.
It's true. In 2019, the best way to see if anything is critically acclaimed is to see how the memes are doing for it.
Yeah, also, if you guys give Chernobyl TV Tuner Show of the Year, you are going to die. This is, not a joke.
Ooh, a worthy death. Anyway,
so let's get something clear here, though. Is it what happens after episode 1? Is it still slow and boring like episode 1 was?
No, I wouldn't say so.
No, Swanson, you agree with me that the episode 1, a lot of it was a slog.
Maybe.
No, I
don't know.
No.
You did.
Episode 1 was tense and psychologically horrifying.
There were parts of it that maybe dragged a little bit, but the rest of the show is very much a very tense sort of how are these people going to avert a nuclear disaster sort of deal.
Well, I think it's perfect in every way, and if you agree with me, hit us up on #TVTuners or @TVTuners.
Next up, we watched. This was a episode that Kyorain was not here for. Instead, our good pal Connie was on.
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
Together, we watched Dead to Me.
What a bizarre show!
This is a weird show.
This is a show for wine moms.
Yeah, this is the wine mom show. Which,
entirely alien to our way of life.
In which Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini from Freaks and Geeks are widows. Are they both widows? Yes. One of them says she's a widow. It was just a very weird show. I think it's supposed to be a comedy. It's not exactly funny.
I think it's a drama.
We get there's a big reveal at the end of the first episode that Christina Applegate's or Linda Cardellini's character killed Christina Applegate's husband inadvertently. And for some reason kept the car. It was an interesting experiment. And not good.
I'm just thinking back to the grief counseling meeting where everyone takes Linda Carter's side after it's revealed that she lied about her husband dying.
Yeah, that was pretty strange, right?
Yes.
Anyway, it's currently billed on Wikipedia as a tragicomedy.
That's a good combo. Whenever you see that, that's always good. It's almost as good as when people say dramedy.
You know, when you think about it, it is just like Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah, you know, Linda Cardellini is sort of in the Robin Williams role. Anyway,
oh, I'm driving a car. Oh no, there's a man. Chris Pratt.
I would say Dead to Me doesn't really register as one of the worst of the year.
No.
Next up,
memories.
Let's see if you remember this one, Stairmaster. Next up, another Keo-less episode. Instead, we had recurring guest Gio on. We talked about LA's Finest, the Bad Boys spinoff that features no boys.
No boys, no Michael Bay.
Yeah. Instead, it's just sort of tedious.
Procedural.
Yeah. This was also made for a cable channel, or for a cable network, right? It was if I recall, LA's Finest was a show that premiered on Spectrum. Spectrum is not a television channel so much as a cable company. And it premiered on their on-demand service. And apparently got renewed, so you can look forward to that, I guess.
What do you remember about it? I remember there was like an EMT guy.
Yeah, I also remember that everyone, because it was based on a Michael Bay property, everyone felt like they had to make quips, but they were not good quips. Yeah, it was bad from what I can remember. But not so bad that I would put it at the top of the worst list or anything. No.
That would have been a good episode to have Keo on.
I think Keo would have been baffled by that. But speaking of Keo and being baffled, and potentially the front runner now for worst of 2019, what/if?
Uh-oh.
That was fun.
This is the cuck show. The baffling. This is. We might spend the next half hour just reminiscing on this bad boy. Renee Zellweger plays a lady who, for some reason, wants to sleep with this lady's husband. And
is the reason that she's horny?
I don't remember if we even get a reason.
It's kind of implied she's the devil, I think, with her opening monologue.
Oh yeah, and there's also there's thunderstorms when she when she shows up, she's Corella DeVille or something.
Yeah, why did she want it? She wanted some kind of investment for some business.
Yeah, right? They were curing AIDS or something.
Oh yeah, this lady had the main character had a biotech startup that she needed funding for, and Renee Zellweger was like, "I'll give it to you if I can sleep with your husband."
Yeah, it was the most manipulative thing they could have picked for her to be trying to fund as well.
Yeah. It's just a very odd program.
It was we're gonna cure child cancer.
Yeah. It's weird because the criteria we stated was that it can't be a boring show. What/if is not a boring show. It is a bafflingly dumb show. It felt like every time that a new scene happened, something dumb had just happened that topped the previous dumb thing.
And they finish off the episode with the dumbest thing, where the husband comes back, and it seemed like they did not have any sex.
But he has wounds.
Oh yeah.
And he's mad at the wife, even though he fully signed on to it, and wouldn't tell her what happened, even though
there's no there's no enforcement of that type of non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, there would be no way anyone would find out.
What do you think it was?
Unless they put a bug inside of his skull or something.
Well, Stairmaster, the only way to find out would be to watch more what/if.
Nope. Nuh-uh.
Also, she probably had him kill someone.
Oh, and so there was an extended fight scene in episode 2.
Yeah, maybe.
So we're gonna have to tune in to what/if to find out what happened.
I guess.
I wish I would rather we didn't. Next up on the list is another sort of charming little show here. Good Omens. Based on the popular book by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Good Omens found Martin Sheen and David Tennant hanging out as an angel and demon trying to stop the apocalypse.
Did you finish it?
I did finish it. It was fun. I'd put it somewhere in the top, but it probably doesn't surpass Chernobyl for me. Yeah, Stair, did you have some thoughts on Good Omens?
That lady who played Eve was dummy thick.
True. True that. Yeah, I don't know. It was good. You guys should watch it sometime if you feel like it.
I'll think about it tomorrow.
I won't.
Next was one that I enjoyed but never watched any more of. Swamp Thing.
What a tragedy.
This seemed like a fun show. But I could also see why. But there's also a good reason why I didn't watch any more of it.
It wasn't a very good-looking show, if I recall.
Seemed kind of boring. I'm Swamp Thing.
Like, all the outdoor scenes had this ugly light blue tint to them. Sort of like Ozarks, if I recall correctly. It was very appealing to look at.
Yeah, that's a no good. I remember enjoying it for the visual effects. Those were fun. Swamp Thing stuff was interesting, I guess. But I just never watched any more of it. Shrug. Next we have a show that I think got a tune in at the time. But maybe, for me at least, Black Mirror.
Oh yeah, Striking Vipers.
Yeah, which was the best episode of a very weak season of Black Mirror.
But also didn't need to be 60 minutes long.
Yeah, another show that could really use from some time management.
No, this episode, whenever I think about it, had very, very confused messaging.
Yeah, it seemed to be saying that it's okay to smash your bro, but also saying that it's not okay to smash your bro.
Yeah, like smashing your bro, and also video games will ruin your marriage, but also you're not gay if you do it.
Yeah, very, very strange sort of messaging in this one. And yet still somehow the best of the 3 episodes produced on that season of Black Mirror.
Also, the protagonists are black, but it doesn't matter.
You want it to be important to their lives, or?
I don't know. Usually when the show does,
being black kind of plays into them being in the other bodies when they're playing the game, like that switching identities. But they didn't really play that up.
They didn't explore it at all.
Yeah, you think that the guy was completely comfortable being in the body of a woman.
Yeah, that was a little odd.
You think that he would have like dysphoria when he's not in the game?
Well, they play with it a little bit because the guy who was in the body of the woman says that he liked that as being in the body of the woman, which later he states is why he didn't feel like he was gay. But
also, they offhandedly mention that tons of other people are fucking on that game.
Yeah, which if you're the producers of those games and you didn't intend for that to be the case, are you just like, all right, I guess we'll go with it?
No, I think that's the only reason they still sell them.
They clearly intended it because why would they model all these genitals?
True. There's just some really horny guy in the dev department.
Yeah, you did not need to program come in.
Yeah, they fully programmed working genitals down to every detail.
And nipples.
Yeah. Into this fighting game. It just doesn't make any sense. The show was not consistent at all.
Plot hole. Cinema sin.
So would you say it was worse than What/If?
No, it's
yes.
bad.
Yes? Whoa.
What?
I would say no, but...
I would also say no.
No, I think it was worse than What/If because at least I'm curious about what happened with that man in What/If. In this show, I'm just baffled.
It's true. The episode ends and you're like, good.
You're like good, but also why?
Speaking of things that we wish would have ended, City on a Hill. This is the show about the Boston Miracle, I believe.
Well, no, that's from the Olympics. I'm pretty sure.
No, we had this exact same discussion on the TV show. You nincompoop. The Boston Miracle refers to aka Operation Ceasefire, as a problem-oriented policing initiative that was implemented in 1996. Aimed at youth gun violence. Anyway, that doesn't really have anything to do with what we watched. It was sort of about bank robberies.
Oh my god.
Well, it's the most boring armored car robbery.
Yeah, how do you fuck up an armored car chase? Or an armored car robbery?
Yeah, if you're chasing it, that means things have gone very wrong.
I could not imagine a show more disappointing than this one. It was so offensively boring. I could not believe it.
Even the sex scenes were boring. Imagine it.
Who did they get in the lead? I thought
Kevin
it was some
Bacon.
guy. Oh yeah, and he just said the N-word a bunch.
Yeah. Great.
They managed to make me care less about these characters than random people on the street that I've never met.
And as we know, Keo has no consideration for his common man.
Yeah, when Keo sees a random person on the street, he snarls at them.
Yeah, if somebody walks on the street in front of me, I don't slow down.
Yeah, he tells them to get lost.
Wow.
Punk. Next up on the show, Stranger Things.
Yeah. Keo's a big negative Nancy on this now.
Yeah, I like the season. We had this discussion already. I probably wouldn't put it in my top of the year or anything.
I assume Keo's completely right. And Swanson's
Was
bullshit.
there not here for that one?
I was
Stair
there
watched
for the
it.
Oh,
But he never finished any more. He never watched any more of it.
I mean, it's like slightly above average television, I guess. But
Yeah.
when you take Stranger Things, which season 1 was genuinely really good,
And season 2 was not.
yeah, season 1 was nice and full of intrigue and everything came together. Season 3 was like, yeah, here's this. This is fun, right? This is what you want. You want 80s. Here's 80s.
Yeah, I mean, there's some fun stuff in this. But again, it's sort of just like serviceable television. But on the plus side, at least it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Next up, we watch Showtime's The Loudest Voice. This was the show about gross boy Roger Ailes,
Yes.
where Russell Crowe was playing him.
Yeah, this was like more unpleasant than Chernobyl.
Yeah, it was more unpleasant and less like
Interesting
Yeah.
and entertaining.
it had it was more unpleasant and had less of a message somehow. Look, I appreciate the only thing I appreciate about this show is that it opened up with Roger Ailes having a heart attack.
But then it had him bragging about how great he was at the news.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
You have to give him credit. He did build a media empire.
Look, just don't go ahead and do yourself a favor. Instead of watching The Loudest Voice, which I think is like 8 episodes, go watch The Irishman. That's it. That's all I have to say about The Loudest Voice.
Yes. They're both about sad white people.
Yeah. Next up, we had Pandora. If you don't remember this is the CW sci-fi show in which it was like a group of people going to like Space Academy or something. It was a very It was a very ill-defined academy. It was like Earth's Space Training Academy or something.
It had like a guy with mediocre mind powers.
Yeah, there were aliens, but they were like Star Trek aliens where they just looked like humans with like bumps.
And also, they went on an adventure episode 1 for some reason.
Yeah. This show was baffling.
That was fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, I know I'm repeating what we said in the episode, but it was like they were scared people were getting bored of it, so they were like, we gotta put them on an adventure now.
Yeah. But I also recall that like the show seemed designed to like fake you out a couple times. There was one moment where like they were flying in a spaceship, and then like an enemy ship started to attack them. But then after the break, it was just a drill.
Yeah, it was a simulation.
It was like the worst fake out. Also, there was like mystery parents.
Yeah, it was look. The fake out was that the show was going to be interesting, and then they're like, actually, no, it's not.
I just remember that the show opens with the main character Jax taking a jog and coming back to find that her parents have just gotten blown up, Luke Skywalker style.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Bad show.
Yeah,
I would say it's a contender for worst.
I think right now I would say it is.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's so creatively bankrupt.
Yeah, it's no good. That's no bueno. All right, next up we watched a show that technically is still ongoing, but we didn't. We started at the beginning. We watched The Expanse.
Oh yeah, it's utter crap. Throw it out the airlock.
Yeah, you hated it.
Yeah.
You hated it so much you've watched 4 seasons of it.
Yes.
I think we all universally enjoyed this one, right?
All right, you scared me for a second. I thought maybe like I'm losing my mind. I was like, wait, is that the wrong show? Oh, you're twisted?
Yeah.
Stairmaster has a sort of a twisted sense of humor. He's a real sick boy.
No, it's good, and it stays that way.
Yeah, it's consistently good through and through.
Hey, maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch it. Anyway, it's a good show. Someday I plan on watching more of it, when I have the time to watch 4 seasons of something.
Yeah, The Expanse is like a nice home-cooked meal, while Game of Thrones is that giant sandwich Homer was eating in The Simpsons, but couldn't finish it before it went bad.
Well, here's the question, Stairmaster.
I kept eating it anyways.
Here's the question, Stair. Would you put The Expanse above Chernobyl?
No.
All right. Well, let's move on to perhaps the biggest contender for all 3 of us for Show of the Year. The Boys!
Mm-hmm.
The Boys!
Look, this is just a fun show.
Oh, yeah, there definitely is the pleasant surprise factor to consider.
Yeah, when you see, when we watched the trailer for the show, I think we were all skeptical.
It was just like, oh, this looks like
these boys.
This looks like it's going to be mindless violence.
Yeah, when we watched the trailer, we were like, oh, these boys. Oh, these boys. And then when we watched the show, we were like, oh, these boys!
These boys! And girls.
Yeah,
Yes, 2 girls. 3
well,
girls.
by the end of the show, yeah. By the end of the episode. Season. Anyway, yeah, it's a good time. Everybody's having a fun time. There's lots of violence, but it's all sort of grounded in the story being told.
Yeah, this might be my pick.
It might be too.
Oh?
No. I gotta think about Anthony Starr.
That's right. That's what I was about to say. Let's all just take a quick second, shut our eyes, think about Anthony Starr's portrayal as Homelander.
Oh no.
Yeah, what a boy. All right, well, now that we've done that, it's time to bring you back down to the miserable depths that we've gone to by talking about Australian television show My Life is Murder. This was the one that starred Xena, the lady who played Xena, and she is like dealing with a food processor for half the episode or something.
And the other half is a guy threw a lady off a balcony.
Yeah.
Is this another Wine Mom show?
No, this was a show with a lady who was like, I think her husband died or something. She's solving this case. And this was a boring show, is what I remember.
Maybe this should be the worst show. I mean, because this is it's so much more boring than the other boring shows.
But we want interesting bad.
Yeah, this I don't know if I could in full consciousness give this the worst.
Fuck the show.
The worst thing about it, by far, outside of being boring, is that the mystery didn't have any mystery elements. There was like no red herring. The person you thought did it.
And there was also this bizarre sexual tension throughout it that was pointless.
Yeah. Yeah, no good, but not the worst.
Was there a cat?
Yes.
I believe there was a cat.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can remember.
And Stairmaster, remember there's no breasts?
Yeah, I know. Well, you get to see Kung Fu Kevin's, or Karate Kevin's.
Oh yeah, that's the best part. This show was so boring. We had to make up Karate Kevin.
We had to lie to the audience.
Just to make it something interesting to say about this show. It's
Imagine if the show actually had Karate Kevin.
It would be the show of the year.
Easily.
Everyone would be talking about the fact there's a guy named Karate Kevin in
Yeah.
this Australian TV show.
Nothing would compare. Next up, we have our 50th episode where we were joined by our pal Sorrel, former mayor of TV Land. Woo Assassins.
Yep.
That was a kind of...
Why do they keep dropping the ball on these shows? What's going on out there?
This is like a disappointment, right? All of the keys should be there to this being a fun show.
Yes, all the keys should be in the miso silo and turned, but we got a failure to launch.
Yeah, this is not... This was a disaster at the factory.
I mean, it wasn't like really bad. It was just like not as good as it should have been.
Yeah, it was like a slightly better Iron Fist.
Yeah.
I know Kyo doesn't agree with that, but...
Oh, we got that
Yeah,
hand grenade out again.
Well, it's got better action than Iron Fist, for
Yes,
sure.
definitely.
But worse everything else.
Yeah, just go watch The Raid instead.
The show also had the audacity to make us watch the same action scene twice.
Yeah, I thought they were going to have the Iron Chef guy in the second one. Or...
Hey, once they brought in the actual Woo assassin part,
Yes.
where you got the powers and they added CG, it was just like, okay.
Yeah, I dropped this after like 4 episodes.
Next up, we have Why Women Kill. The CBS All Access show that follows 3 women from 3 different periods and why they murdered people, I guess. I remember this one being kind of baffling.
The framing device was confusing. It didn't add anything to the show.
The framing device was an excuse to pad out a show that didn't need to be an hour long.
Didn't they imply that only one of them was going to commit murder at the end? We didn't even...
I think so, yes.
Yeah, we don't even get to see murder in this first episode, so...
Yeah, you have to wait all season to see murder.
Is that true?
Probably.
Like, was the framing device that they just all... It was the same house or something? Something stupid like
Yes.
that? Ugh, so bad.
Oh,
but
yeah,
also
the
so
millennial
pointless.
couple so weird and alienated.
Yeah, I
Like,
also
they look
remember the 80s, in the 80s, Lucy Liu was playing a character who was eating so much of the scenery. I believe that's the one with the husband who's concealing his homosexuality.
Okay, I'm looking this up right now.
She was unbearable.
Episode 5, no murder.
What about episode 10?
Episode 7, no murder, but one of the 80s guys finds out he has AIDS.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Episode 10, some murder.
Ooh. Alright. I'm listening. Next up, we watched 13 Reasons Why. The 3rd season of a show that we never watched any of the previous 2 seasons of.
Was this where we made it the new rule?
To not do this dumb experiment anymore? Yes. That said, the show was still really baffling.
Okay, what was this about?
Teens committed some sort of crime?
If I recall, the first season of 13 Reasons Why is a show about suicide. The 2nd season is not.
Oh, this one's a murder mystery.
This one becomes, in the 3rd season, becomes a murder mystery somehow.
I think that the kid was going to shoot up his school.
Yeah, at the end of the 2nd
it?
season, there's a kid who's going to shoot up the school, and then the rest of the main cast are just like, don't do it, man.
And they're trying to get him help without turning him into the authorities.
They're trying to get him help without actually doing anything to help him, which is nice. That's a nice message. Yeah, this was garbage from what I remember.
Yeah, this show was both confusing and boring and stupid.
Yeah.
All 2 of those things.
Does that mean it's not the worst of the year, or it is?
it's not the worst of the year, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think we haven't made a decision yet. Is Pandora or What/If the current frontrunner here?
I think I'm leaning towards Pandora.
Pandora.
Yeah.
Although there's one show on this list that I think is a hot contender we haven't gotten to yet.
I think I know what one you mean, and it is definitely my pick. But before we get to that, let's move on to The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, another show that I meant to watch more of. I was big into this. I liked it, but I never followed up on it.
It was okay.
It seems pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good little prequel to the movie. Good times.
Yeah, it's based and red pilled.
The puppets weren't as cute as Baby Yoda.
Well, that's true, but neither were they. They weren't like that in the original either.
Okay, please don't let that statement I made stand. Please do not.
Sorry, it's canon
Kyo?
now.
It is, yeah, that's just the truth, Kyo. I don't know what you want from us.
Oh yeah, that was the episode where I kept talking about. Good times.
Yeah, for the record, people out there, that was a joke. Please do not ascribe any political statements to our CB tuners, except for that money is good and capitalism is what makes the world go round.
Oh no!
And another show that sort of signified that was Wu-Tang: An American Saga. Our first Hulu program, one that I had watched and I was unable to be on the episode.
You got a cough?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what did you guys think of this one?
It was like if The Wire sucked.
Yeah, it was just bad. It was like a bad biopic.
Yeah. It should have just been a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, it was just a boring biopic. The end. Now let's get to the real meat and bones here. The Island.
Yeah, that's my pick right there.
Forgot.
Look, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, or eyes about it. This is the worst show of 2019.
Okay, baby.
There's not really any contenders. Everyone on this show acts like they are not humans.
Also,
Swanson, you continued further than I did, and I believe you said there is in fact a lab coat guy.
There's a lab coat guy, yeah.
yes.
Because as you see, the Island is a simulation. A thing we get revealed in the 3rd episode of a 10-episode show.
I just remember everyone not refusing to take anything the protagonist said seriously, including accusations of rape.
Yeah,
for no real reason.
Yeah, it's what do we call that? A bad show. Perhaps
And there's a rape boy as well.
Yeah, there's a rape boy. He keeps on raping until he dies for some reason, and then he just never shows up again.
He kept raping until he broke down.
The Island is a show that likes to think it's like a fun little mystery, but is instead it likes to think it's like a fun can of worms, but instead it's just a can full of dog shit.
So it's like episode 9, Rise of the Skywalkers.
It's worse. Anyway, it's probably it has potential to be the worst thing I've ever watched, ever in the history of television.
I'm putting it up there as well. I can't think of anything that's worse that we watched.
I mean, obviously,
and it's also the kind of bad we want, which is like off the wall bad.
That is true.
It's like there's no like saving it bad. Next up, we have Prodigal Son. This was the show about the son of a serial killer who became a criminal pathologist. But also somehow is just getting in on the serial killer action sometimes, like solving the murders.
Yeah, this was an unexpected delight. Not to say it's good, but...
Yeah, it's not necessarily good, but it is also featuring Martin Sheen, who in previous show Good Omens was playing an angel and is now playing a serial killer, which is fun.
They made the expert choice to make like the first case we ever see him do involved in his family's backstory.
Yeah, instead of just waiting until like future episodes to do that.
Props to them for doing that.
Yeah. This show was ridiculous in like a fun, dumb kind of way. It feels like a show from like the 90s that would be like a big hit that everyone will watch. Instead, it's in 2019, and no one really cared about it.
I think it's more of a 2008 show.
Like a
2008.
It's like a decade. I could see it being like a show that was on Fox a decade ago instead of on Fox now.
Or maybe on cable.
Yeah.
It would be on FX.
I guess enough people are watching it. It hasn't been picked up for a full season.
Well, good for them, I guess.
Next up, we have Evil. This show. It's weird because I've been hearing a lot of like critical praise to this show, and I do not get it.
Maybe the demons finally show up.
I mean, probably not. This is a show in which demons are maybe a thing, but no one's really sure. Luke Cage is here, and that's fun.
Yeah, so are there demons in the show or not, Swanson? You need to tell us right now.
As far as I can tell, no.
Swanson,
it's like the X-Files.
You know the
They're playing around with whether or not demons are real.
I'll go look it up on Wikipedia.
Anyway, yeah, this show was sort of just dumb. They had
it was kind of confusing. I thought maybe also the demon they had in there, Roy.
Yeah,
ended up being a fake demon.
They had a demon named Roy first off, and yeah.
I have an update. The most recent episode on Wikipedia with a summary, episode 10, Seven Swans of Singing, does not have any demons, but it does have subliminal messages that make teens want to kill themselves.
Ooh, that's kind of like demons.
Yeah.
That's like a quarter demon, third demon.
Yeah, that's like 1/3 demon. Anyway, yeah, this wasn't a terrible show. It was just sort of a weirdly misguided one.
It was also disappointing.
Yeah. Next up, we have our first show from ABC on the run of the show, Stumptown. This featured the lady who plays Maria Hill, Colby Smulders, and she's here. This was a bad show.
I remember this being like intensely uninteresting.
This was another show that I've heard good things about since, and I'm not interested in. It was like sort of like it's a crime drama show that feels like it was from the 70s, but doesn't have any of the fun of like an old 70s like the Rockford Files type show.
I don't really remember anything about the protagonist besides her being a veteran.
She had PTSD and possibly a gambling addiction, I think. She also has special needs. Brother.
And she's friends. Oh yeah. He gets kidnapped at the end, doesn't he? Or does he?
No, he doesn't get kidnapped.
Or
he sees her drive off as he's just like hanging out.
He sees her get kidnapped, I think. And
yes.
That's where you get the cold open.
Not the cold open, but before one of the commercial breaks. Oh wait, no, I know what you mean now. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this show was not good. Just sort of baffling. And also, this is the third of sort of our run from the end of September through most of October, where we are watching the new season of broadcast television shows, all of which were tune-outs.
Yep.
Not a great year for broadcast TV.
I would say they tried, but they didn't.
Yeah. And we ended strong with the CW's Batwoman.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it was
a bad pilot, but apparently CW shows have a habit of starting off. Well, the DC CW shows have a bad habit of having bad pilots.
Yeah, I think all of the pilots, if they may be the exception of The Flash, but even then, they've all been pretty bad pilots from what I can tell. But yeah, I'm sure it was okay.
Is the consensus out there that it gets a lot better after the pilot, or what?
Yeah, but that's also what I've heard about Evil and Stumptown, so...
Update on Evil. There is a demonic video game in episode 4.
Oh.
That makes people kill themselves.
Ooh, Stairmaster, here's an interesting thing for you, potentially. Update on Stumptown. Episode 3 features a recurring character who's played by Donal Logue of Terriers.
Oh, wow. I can feel extra guilty about not finishing the second season of that show.
There's a second season of Terriers?
I think.
That's
Or maybe
news to
I'm-
me.
What? Swanson, I'm the one who watched Terriers.
You watch Terriers?
Yeah.
The show with the two detective boys?
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
I only made it half. Okay, no, I'm just, for some reason, my brain split it into two halves. Sorry.
Wait, Keo, have you actually watched Terriers?
Yeah, I watched all of it.
What was your thoughts?
I liked it.
Show of the year.
Show of the
I
year.
binged it. That was this year?
Yeah, Terriers
Yes.
came out this year.
Wow.
You know, when you think about it, if that show had come out even a couple years later, it would have been a beloved sort of critical darling show that stays around for a while.
Yeah, but we were all asleep in 2010.
Yeah, we missed out on it.
Yeah, there was no TV tuners to keep you informed.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
2010 TV Tuner Show of the Year, though, Terriers. Without a doubt. Next, we get another superhero show, HBO's Watchmen, a show that I still haven't finished.
I heard it goes to the bad zone.
Yeah, I've become less enthusiastic about it the more I've watched it, so I think it's fun. I don't think it's going to completely Westworld itself, but I've heard that it might. You know, I'm ready to see where it goes. It was fun. I would think it would probably be in my top 5 of the year, but it's definitely nowhere near Chernobyl or The Boys.
I was not captivated at all. I did not continue.
If only I knew what I knew now. Then. Instead of knowing
You would
the
sink
other way.
HBO's perfect record.
Yes.
Well, we told those listeners to be careful with this show. We said keep an eye out, look out,
It's true.
careful.
They have been keeping their eyes out.
We
They
were
have been
very
watching
paranoid.
The Watchmen. Alright, so this next one is Living with Yourself. A show that I watched all of, and each episode made me hate
Yes.
it more. This was
Okay,
Paul
so
Rudd
Paul
being
Rudd
a
is
clone.
you.
Yeah. Paul Rudd is
You
me.
was Paul Rudd.
And Baba is Paul Rudd. Yeah, this was a show that was kind of funny, mostly dumb, a lot of pointless.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the crack starting to show in episode 1 where they spent a whole bunch of time with that weird clinic or whatever when that was not really relevant to the plot at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that happens in this show. Look, I mean, I'll be the first to tell you that Paul Rudd is a charming guy. He's pretty fun. He's a fun, charming dude.
So you're saying you're Paul Rudd's #1 fan? Is what you're saying.
I'm a Rudd head. Okay, but look, he couldn't save this. He tried his best. There's no saving this one.
Okay, what if they had...
Hmm?
I have a hypothetical. What if they had dived a little bit deeper into the Ant-Man cast instead of Paul Rudd or Michael Douglas? They got Greg Turkington from On Cinema.
You know, better show.
That might be pretty good.
He has the energy that you need. Next, we have the debut show, one of the debut shows for Apple TV Plus. This was For All Mankind.
Oh my god.
That was a weird one.
This one's so dumb. Just very dumb. This was,
Some strange choices.
if Dead to Me was the Wine Mom show, this is like the white middle-aged dad show.
Yes,
This is the show that you find your dad watching on the couch with a beer on a Sunday afternoon.
And he's not really paying attention to it.
Yeah, he's like playing with his phone. Or he's asleep.
Oh yeah, this is on TV. You can change the channel if you want, but I'm kind of watching it.
Yeah.
No, this is like the World War II history buff dad show.
Yeah, this
Like
is the
kind
show
of
that you
nerd
see
dad.
on the TV while he's like sort of grilling.
Okay, yeah.
For some reason, I thought of him putting together like a ship in a bottle while this is on.
I could see that too. Yeah, you know, he's just working diligently on it. It takes a while to get those pieces together. Anyway, yeah, not a good show. Not the worst. I think it's going to be hard to top The Island.
I thought it was quite boring, personally.
Yeah.
Just nothing to sink your teeth into. Like, they also had a nagging wife subplot, which is just lovely.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, not bad show. Next up, The Mandalorian. Welcome surprise, our first Disney Plus show, and good stuff all around.
I wasn't there for that, but I will be Connie's spokesperson.
Oh, you're like, I don't know how you and Connie sort of have different feelings on Star Wars, I think.
No, we don't.
No, you both equally have the same feelings.
Well, Connie said, I'm quoting them on this, that this is one of the very few good Star Wars things.
That is true.
Yeah, true.
I didn't watch this, and I didn't watch really any Star Wars, so all I can do is just I'm gonna speak for Connie. I'm gonna say things that Connie thinks.
Yeah, this was this is a front runner. This is a front runner, I think. It's fun, and it's fun in a similar way to like how The Boys is fun, right? Only one is a lot less violent than the other.
Connie says that Keo Rain is the TV Tuners host of the year.
Oh no!
As well. Just putting that out there.
That's All right. Well, I guess we can't really dispute that. I guess that's your title now.
Yeah.
So yeah, The Mandalorian I think is one of the front runners. Definitely one of the three that I got to pick from. Stairmaster, you got any thoughts on The Mandalorian?
No.
You've watched all of it.
I have spoken.
All right, what's so good about it, Swanson?
It's fun.
Okay, so there's this guy with a helmet and a gun, and he doesn't say much, but he's very serious and stern, and he's very good at what he does.
Yeah.
And he travels around a bunch of exotic locations, meeting interesting people, and shooting dudes.
Okay, I'm on board.
It's sort of like Samurai Jack.
And most importantly, it's a show that doesn't feel like it needs to be constrained to an hour format.
Yes.
There are episodes that go 40 plus minutes. There are episodes that go 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like it needs to be. It's as long as it needs to be, which is exactly how streaming shows should be.
No, it would confuse. It's going to confuse and upset the audience. I'm sure there's thousands of people out there like exasperated with a 30-minute episode, just deeply upset, just on their knees weeping.
Yeah, they're going to be
like, we're not getting an hour.
How am I going to be able to watch this?
I think they're more mad about women being in the show.
Yeah, it's true. They really didn't like Cara Dune.
Whenever a woman shows up on a TV show, I'm just like, oh, okay, let's get back to the men.
Right, when are we going to see her boobs?
Yeah, classic. Next up, we watched Netflix's Green Eggs and Ham.
Yeah, no, fuck that show.
I seem to recall this being pretty mild. I didn't watch all of it, but it was okay.
It was alright. It was fine.
There's really not much else to say about it.
I watched it very sleep deprived, so I couldn't handle its positive energy.
Yeah. Michael Douglas was in it. That's fun.
Yeah, it is not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be just like unrepentantly pointless and awful, but it did its own thing, which is good.
Next up, The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, this one really upsets Dan Master.
Don't have much to say about this program.
Oh, he's here.
I think our summary from the episode we actually did is going to be quite sufficient to explain this show. What we had said previously was that this is a good show to have on in the background as you're doing other things.
Yeah,
or,
this would be
perhaps about to go to sleep.
To think, if For All Mankind is the show that your dad has in the background while he's making his miniature boats, The World According to Jeff Goldblum is the show that your mom puts on the background while she's making dinner and you have to be occupied.
Yes.
As moms do.
You know how moms be making dinner.
Women be cooking.
Next up, we had DC Universe's animated program, Harley Quinn.
Big oof.
Program.
Yeah, this is
more like a problem.
Yeah, she's neither sick nor twisted, really. That's the problem.
She's very loud.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like loud women, Sir Mister?
It seems like Harley's voice actor was always at 11.
This show was trying way too hard to be for adults.
Yeah.
Way too
hard. It had a big red blinking sign that said adult humor. And
Except for Batman, who only did for all ages comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman was on point.
Batman never swore. He never raised his voice.
I think he usually just said like one word.
Yeah, he usually said like no. Like he's Mario. Yeah, it was whatever. It was useless.
Be gone.
Finally, our anime that we watched this year, Fire Force.
Yeah, it's Kyo Show of the Year.
Hey, Fire Force! I actually finished the season.
Did they Did they learn how to live in a world without fire?
Yeah. Did they defeat fire?
No, they haven't gotten there, but they did reveal more about Shinra's backstory.
Oh, is there a really big fire now?
No, it turns out his dog also died in the fire.
Oh. What is this reign over me bullshit?
I'm messing with you.
Adam Sandler plays Shinra in the U.S. adaptation.
Oh no!
That would be amazing. No.
This is how Netflix wins.
They did the reverse of that, where spoilers. You guys don't care if I spoil this, right? Because you both dropped it. Correct.
Go ahead.
Yeah, nobody died in the fire.
So I was
Fire Mommy.
So wait, was it me or Stair who said that his mom was alive?
It was you, I think.
And I was right.
You're the one. You're the one who was going for her being the waifu.
Yes, I was. No, I was the one. I was the one talking about how I wanted to waifu.
Yeah, I was simply saying that his mom might still be alive. We don't know for sure.
But so now we have to decide whether or not she is the girl of the week.
She's a quote unquote alive.
Oh, is she on fire?
Yeah, she's an infernal.
Guys,
unfortunate.
Should I write anime?
No.
I mean, I predicted this. Sounds like I got it down.
I mean, it's a pretty shocking twist to find out that the dead anime mom is actually alive.
Yeah, pretty devastating.
You never expect that.
Well, Kyo, you're the only one who continued on with Fire Force. Where does it rank in your shows of the year?
Oh, well, it's definitely up there among all the garbage we watched anyway.
Yeah.
The last two episodes were actually pretty good.
That's a good push quote for the DVD box set.
Yeah, up there with the garbage that I watched. All right, well, the time has come, ladies and gentlemen. We got to figure this out, guys. It's finally time. Mm-hmm. Let's do the easy one first. What's the worst show of 2019?
Island.
I'm a little bit torn between Pandora and Island. I mean, Island is so
true.
out there, but I'm baffled by how did Pandora even happen? It's so derivative in every way. Like, what was the creative process?
Let's make a sci-fi show.
And they just
I'm gonna have to go with Island because it's just that bad.
Yeah, it's Island.
Yeah, I
mean, at least Pandora had some parts of it that were like slightly charming, I guess.
Yeah, at least people in Pandora sort of felt like characters, or like some form of like human interaction was happening that made sense. None of that happens in The Island. The Island is if a television show was a bad sci-fi original movie. It's not good. One of the worst television shows I've ever watched. And now, the prestigious winner of the 2019 Worst Show TV Tuners Award, Worst Show of the Year. Congratulations, The Island. You officially are bad. Now let's get on to the harder choice here. The 2019 TV Tuners Show of the Year.
Well, easy choice for me. I'm going with The Boys.
Ooh, this is tough. I think it comes down to. I think it comes down to The Boys or Chernobyl.
Yes.
Stair, what do you think? Stair?
He's
I think
deep
I'm
in
going to have to
contemplation.
go with well, my heart says Chernobyl, but my brain says The Boys. So I'm going to have to go with The Boys.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe it's the other way around. Who knows?
You know, I could see both sides. I think
I think it's Chernobyl. Yeah, I'm going with Chernobyl.
Oh, go to hell.
I gotta stay on brand.
I think I gotta go with Stairmaster on this one. I think Chernobyl is the 2019 TV Tuners Show of the year. The
Wow,
Boys,
I can't believe you people.
Boys is fun, but Chernobyl meant something.
Yeah?
It came at the right time, I guess.
Yeah.
The right time? What does that mean?
The Trump era.
Yeah, it sort of it's a very prescient show. And you know, we'll give The Boys the honorary mention here. So there you go, folks. 2019 TV Tuner Show of the Year, Chernobyl. And you know, that was a great year here for TV tuners. We had lots of fun, lots of laughs, and we're hoping to have a great 2020. Hopefully none of us die horribly. So there you have it, Chernobyl. Not consensus, but still show of the year. If I recall, last year this was a similar matter. It was just Keo and I thought Better Call Saul was the better show than Bodyguard.
Oh, do I really think Bodyguard was a best?
I mean, I believe so, yeah.
That was probably a mistake on my part.
It was definitely a mistake. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Well, you know, maybe Keo will say that in the year 2020 about Chernobyl, but I doubt it. Anyway, thanks for sticking with us for the year 2019. Hopefully you stick around for 2020. It's going to be a great year, provided we all don't die horribly. And we'll be back.
I'm hoping for it.
Yeah, and some kind of horrible bus crash.
Yeah, I hate when we get into a bus crash. Crash into some
Honk, honk.
bus.
Oh, hey guys, the bus is here. It's time for us to go to Aspen.
Oh, perfect. I love going
Wow.
to ski.
It's going to be really safe.
All right, well, we'll see you guys in the new year. We'll all be alive and healthy. And until then, keep watching. Bye.
Oh no, my arm!
It's over.
Hey there, folks. It's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster invented the tortilla chip?
That's right.